I was thinking about the topic a lot today. Yesterday, and just in general, as a journalist, I think it's one of the main topics that we face, but also as a Ukrainian, it's even it's doubling. And to be fair, I wanted to focus today in my speech mostly about what is happening in informational space now. And what is happening is, I would say, horrifying. As you saw, what happened several days ago in the US and just in general for last months was truly horrifying for Ukrainians, and I think for democratic world in general. But now what is happening after a few days is even more important because now Ukraine, I would not fear to say that, is facing probably one of the biggest informational attacks. And in informational space, we can see that lots of bots, lots of media outlets, even lots of officials from Europe, even and from US, they are attacking Ukraine, attacking Ukrainian president, and this is purely horrifying. And I prepared some points, and I wanted to say that the main topic of this attack, obviously, is now everyone discussing, someone discussing Zelensky's suits, someone is discussing, which is for me hilarious. I don't think it should be even a topic, to be honest, on the media outlets. Someone is discussing US aid to Ukraine. Someone is discussing was Ukraine even grateful? It is a topic of discussion. I know that people know the truth, but it is a topic of discussion. And I want to say that Ukrainian media, they responded immediately after what we were accused of. For example, Ukrainian media outlet United 24 fact-checked Trump immediately after, and JD Vance, after they said that Ukraine was not grateful. They published an article where they gathered all gratitude and thanks that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said from the beginning of war. And to be precise, it was 94 times only on his Telegram channel, not even in public speaks or privately. So we cannot even measure the, the exact number, but publicly it's almost 100 messages that was sent. And not only Ukrainian media, so I know that also American media, even like TV presenters, they were saying this, showing video clips to US officials, saying, confronting these lies. But as we can see, even confronted directly to the face, sometimes it doesn't work. People just ignore it, and they continue to tell lies, to tell fake stories, even when journalists or just activists, they are telling the truth. Also, for me, it's very important to talk through. I'm sure that all people who are gathered here, they know the truth, but I would like to say through it again about fact checking. Nowadays, the whole media atmosphere also full with numbers, full of figures, and for example, how much US, right, allocated funds to Ukraine, and we see different numbers every day, which is also for me hilarious. Sometimes it's $500 billion, sometimes it's $300 billion, sometimes it's $350 billion. But in fact, also several fact checkers, for example, I found information from inspectors and the Congressional Research Service, and we are talking about much less support. It's about $183 billion. And most of these funds, they were more like direct military equipment to Ukraine, or just stayed in the US. And so here the problem is we are speculating on like actual facts that everyone knows, but media outlets, they discuss it as a topic of discussion, not as a fact, but as something that can be discussed as if the sky is blue, you know. And if someone see the blue sky as red, it's a problem of this person, not of the sky, you know. And this is a big problem, I think, because previously we saw that propaganda, disinformation, it was coming from, I don't know, anonymous bots or some propaganda channels from Russia. We were talking for years about it, about disinformation attacks from Russia, from several bot systems. But now the problem is Russian propaganda and just propaganda in general is not only pouring from Russian officials or Russian media outlets, and now U.S. Government is directly uh, producing or continuing propaganda. And this is a big topic because propaganda always existed, but now a spokesperson completely changed, or plus one. And this is a problem because less support, less even sources from where we can fact check. And this is the big problem, as I think. Also, but I wanted to say that people in Ukraine, also journalists, media outlets, are still working, and I think the biggest cure for everyone is now like donating, obviously, and supporting Ukrainian army. Now we understand that we can only count on European friends or on ourselves, and this is a big change, the big shift, I think, in even people's minds. And I want you also to understand that the biggest problem with informational attacks is also moral attacks. With informational attacks, it affects our mentality, our even moral state, which is very important in this war. And but people are still fighting. People are still, obviously, no one wants to surrender. People want a justice. People want a peace that will be long in peace, that will be secured by guarantees. And because we don't want to have similar conferences about injustice in 5 years, we want to talk about consequences from our conferences, from our talks, that we achieved actually something, which is very important. Um, Now, as I told on the previous conference, still Ukrainian media, they facing lots of obstacles, and one of them is underfunding, as I mentioned before. But now, what is for me a very bad signal, lots of not even local media outlets, as I am editor-in-chief of local media, but one of the big, I would say, Ukrainian outlets that were producing news to the whole Ukraine closed just yesterday, and this is a very big problem. This outlet is called Svidomi. They post their work, but they don't know exactly if they will continue it. And for example, my friends, they were working in this outlet. They completely devastated because they were trying for last months to find some fundings, but no result, unfortunately. And as you know, it's also the consequences of USAID that is not providing funds anymore for independent media outlets. And also, I wanted to share with you that not only that, only yesterday, I think, Ukrainian investigation group, they produced a documentary investigation about a Ukrainian activist, a Ukrainian journalist, Victoria Roshchina, who was murdered in Russian captivity. And they presented this investigation just yesterday. So I wanted to say that even in these circumstances, people are continuing to work and showing the truth. So And from our side, from local media outlets, from Volynska Gazeta, we are also continuing to work, although half of our team is fighting in the front line. We still work with volunteers, we work with students from different Ukrainian universities and try to expand our media outlet despite all of the obstacles. And yeah, I think this is very important. These are substantial results that we are now having, and the main cure, I would say, to fight disinformation, propaganda, um, or even like news that are completely continuing to produce from the other side of the ocean, is to honestly concentrate your strengths and your work on what you can change. And as a speaker from US previously I mentioned, that it's very important to focus on what we can do rather than what we cannot do. And this is what my Ukrainian journalists are doing now. Not only journalists, Ukrainians, they are continuing to work, and even more than they were working before. Thank you so much.